If you have a man, your man has kids, and you don't have kids, and you're young, turning.
I don't recommend any woman dating a single father at all. So that I would not forget, I had to write this in my notes app, but this is why I do not recommend dating a single father, especially if you are a single woman in your 20s with no children of your own. So women in their 20s and you don't have children, you should not be dating men with children. The majority of men that consider themselves to be traditional are typically misogynistic men. They believe child rearing is women's work. And these types of men are usually just scouting a replacement mother during their parenting time. And which is bringing me to number 3, women are typically seen as the default parent. And you may be tempted to go from helping him during his parenting time to just taking over his parenting time completely. Therefore, he can wipe his hands and be done. Now, he also may use his job as a way to get you to take over his parenting time, or all of a sudden all these other things are going to come up and now his parenting time is now your parenting time. And I also don't recommend men with young children who need a lot of assistance. Those kids are needy for a reason. They're kids. I have a 4-year-old, very, very needy, and that's what she's supposed to be at that age. Also, if you're not in your 20s and you don't have kids, or you do have kids, his kids need to be older and less reliant. And I can't really see what my number 8 is. I think it's saying, there's a lot of discourse around single married mothers, and a lot of them are divorcing for various reasons, but the divorce for them sometimes allows them to finally get a break and kind of force the father into actually taking care of his kids on his own post-divorce. Now, these are the type of men that are going to be in your dating pool now, divorced, and they're going to be looking for you to fill in the gaps. And also, watch a lot of single married mother content. Those women are on the verge of divorce, or they're heading to divorce. Those are the men that are going to be in the dating pool, and they're going to be looking for you to fill in the gap and to be the stepmom. So I know that there are going to be a lot of men and even some women come into my comment section and say, oh, well, then just don't date single mothers. I am still nailing this down, but it is not the same whatsoever. Like I said in one of my points, the woman is always looked at as the default parent, even in a marriage setting, to the child's biological parent. So what do you think this is going to mean for you as the stepmom? If the majority of men carry this mindset that child rearing is women's work, what do you think that it's going to mean for you as a stepmom? So if you have ever been a stepmom, or you're considering being a stepmom, or the guy that you're talking to right now has kids, please get in the comments and let me know that you think. I would like for us to have some civil, respectable conversation around this, but I'm still standing firmly that a woman in her 20s, that is not your time to be dating a single father. You need to be building your own life, taking care of yourself. And in your 20s, you can still very much find a man that does not have children, and y'all built that life together. Hell, in your 30s, you can find that. But I will still stand by the fact that if you're going to do this, you need to truly assess the situation. Like I always say, I will never deter you from wanting to get married. I will never deter you from having children. But I will ask you to critically think about your situation. I could sit here and give you, my personal experience or my advice, but you have to personally assess your situation. If you're in a situation that would be beneficial for you to be a stepmom, by all means, go for it. But the majority of the situations, I'm going to guess, they are not beneficial, and you are literally throwing yourself into the same type of situation that his ex-wife or child's mother got herself out of, and she is thankful that it is now your turn. So get in the comments, tell me what you think. Men with children are an absolute no-no, especially if you are a young woman without children of your own. I said that a while back when I stitched one of Raymonte's videos about being young and turned, and if you're young and turned, you don't need to be messing with a man with kids. There's also something that I have for you ladies that, you're probably your 30s, 40s, or whatever. I am never getting rid of Facebook. So I came across this and let's talk about it. Uppity Negress says, I've been on a few dates with men who are divorced with children, and way too often there is a rush for me to meet their children and they mine. I don't let people meet my child unless we're super serious. And then I figured out it's because they're not used to the labor load of being a parent without their ex-wife to do all the work, and they're looking for replacement mommies as soon as possible. I wonder how connected this is to the evil stepmother trope. Because if a man is rushing connections to his children with a woman who suddenly finds herself overburdened by a manipulative man looking to offset labor, I could see how that leads to a resentful relationship between the stepmom and children. So this is deeper than just, you wanting to get married or have a family of your own. It's deeper. And you have to ask yourself, if you happen upon a man who has, school age children, small children, a fresh divorce, things like that, you have to ask yourself, what is it? What is it that he wants? Why does he want to move so fast? Why does he want me to meet his children so fast? And a lot of the times it is because the parenting is overwhelming for them, because when they were married, I told y'all a while back, moms are the default parent. So when they were married, they didn't have to deal with, doctor's appointments and the kids being sick and fundraisers and sports and after school activities, because mom is typically always managing those processes. So when that unit breaks up and now he's, the every weekend dad, or the every other weekend dad, or the 2 weekends out of the month dad, he doesn't know what to do with all of that. And it's overwhelming. So in comes you, the woman who has been wanting to get married all her life and wanting to have her own family. And it's like a match made in hell, because he's going to leverage your desire and desperation for marriage, hands down. He ain't going to mind going to buy you a ring at all, because he knows what he's about to get in exchange is way more valuable than whatever it is he's about to spend on a ring. He don't mind it at all. He needs your babysitting skills. He needs your maternal skills, maternal instincts. He needs somebody to be at the house when those kids get off the bus and you work from home. So it's perfect. Now he's planning out your weekends to be at Bobby and Susie's softball, baseball, football, cheerleading, track meet. He's got it all laid out for you. Now you're going to raise those kids on his weekends, his every other weekend, his 2 weekends out of the month. It's a transfer of responsibility. You just now became the mom at his residence. They have their bio mom during the week or during her parenting time. It's your turn, boo. So be careful with how bad you want to get married, because it's a lot of fresh divorcees out here ready to put a ring on it. In her comment section of the post that she made, which was chef's kiss, by the way, a lady mentioned in that post, it was a lot of ladies sharing how their own fathers immediately got married after their mothers divorced their fathers. One lady on the post said that one of her neighbor's wives passed away in August. By December, he had a new wife. She was walking those kids to the bus stop every morning, and the kids were looking miserable, and so was she. But guess who is happy? He is. Those children are grieving their mother, and he's just happy that he ain't got to do the bus stop walk anymore. Now the stepmother is miserable and the children are miserable because he tried to put together a connection that was not there. It takes time for that to happen. Brady Bunch is not real. It takes time to gel families together. It takes time for a woman to get used to someone else's kids, especially if she don't have any of her own. And if you are in that situation, you're possibly entertaining marrying a man with children and it's just not there. That's normal, baby. It's okay. They're not yours. Don't make him rush you into trying to form a bond that is not there. You didn't carry those babies for 9 months. You weren't a part of an adoption process with a partner where y'all went through that bonding process together. You are coming from the outside to however old those kids are now. Do not beat yourself up about this if you're not bonding with those kids immediately. And don't try to bond with them immediately, because kids can smell fake from a mile away. And for you men that are doing this, shame on you, because you are harming your children in the process. That woman is a stranger. And if their bio mom is deceased, even more shame on you, because those children are grieving. You cannot replace a mother. You cannot. So stop trying to. And if you got a man out here trying to get you to accept that crap, no. You say no. Do yourself a favor and those children a favor, because he's not thinking about any of you all. He's thinking about himself. It's purely selfish motives. So I think we need to rethink this whole wicked stepmother crap that Disney tried to shove down our throats. That probably was a man trying to get his wife replaced. And you cannot replace mama. I'm sorry, you just can't.